Gustavo Bernal's journey from Caracas to Austin is full of curiosity, creativity, and resilience. From award-winning films to film education, he's shaping the future storytellers with passion. And it doesn't hurt that he's got killer Lego glasses. This episode of The Rebel Rebel is brought to you by my book, Brand Jitsu. I've spent over 25 years in the trenches helping artists, entrepreneurs, and brands stop being ignored. I took everything I've learned, the wins, the hard lessons, the frameworks that actually work, and I put it into one book. It's called Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable, and it'll help you tell your story in a way that people actually remember. Get it at your favorite bookstore or visit brandjitsu.com. Welcome to the Rebel Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargie, and somewhere around the world, we're going to find out where I have Gustavo Bernal. How are you, Gustavo?
I'm doing great. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. Yes. Well, I'm excited to have you. I've been looking forward to this for a variety of different reasons, which we'll get to shortly.
Okay.
But first, where are you in the world?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
This is my new home for the past 7 years. Yes.
Very nice. How do you like Texas?
I enjoy especially Austin because I live in New York for 14 years. So this was a big change. Culturally, people don't get it when they say, when you move from one city to another or one state from another, they don't get that they're like different entities completely.
Yeah, almost like different countries, really.
Yeah. It took me a while to get used to. It took me like 8 months to 9 months to get used to.
Wow. Okay, so just because I'm curious, it's my nature. What was the biggest difference that you noticed?
Well, I enjoy the pedestrian life. Taking the subway, mass transit, and all that stuff. Here is not as reliable as New York.
Right.
And, but I love to walk. So I was still walking no matter what. And people would look at me in a weird way. Why you don't use a car? It's like, well, because I enjoy walking.
Yeah.
So that was a big change. I must confess that when I was in New York, I have a learner's permit. So I never jump into the driver's license. So, my wife said, sorry, but this time you need it and you can't say no.
Oh.
So yes, also the cultural aspects of how people, people are nicer here. People were like really curious about what you do. If you're just in the middle of a street with a tripod taking a photo or just capturing video, it's like, get on my way.
Right.
But here it's like, what are you doing? Are you creating something for what?
Interesting.
So people were curious about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. So that's awesome. Thanks for that backstory. Let me ask just one last question before I move on. And that is, what's the one thing you miss about New York?
The museums a lot. I enjoy going to different museums. Exhibitions, there was like a constant changing, new exhibitions happening. There's always art happening on the street. Yeah. Installations all over the place. So I miss that because, in Austin, they have museums, but they're not as regular as in New York. So in fact, my wife and I, we have membership for museums in Houston because they have more museums in Houston. So since we go regularly to Houston, you can go to Houston, museums in Houston or San Antonio.
Oh, that's cool. All right, cool. Yes. Thank you. So what is it that you're doing right now? If I were to be like, what's Gustavo up to? He would say what?
Yeah. So I own a business. The name is Gus Bernal Film Photo Education. The reason why I put all these three together is because I'm a filmmaker. I've been doing this for a long time. I work as I used to work as an editor. I still do, but I work in advertising, film independent. all these different mediums. Mm-hmm. And I'm a photographer because I do photography, different kind of work of photography, but also I'm an educator. And I've been doing it since kind of like the same time I was working in the industry. And it's been one of my passions, learning and also sharing my knowledge with people. In fact, I was I will have to confess that this week I was interviewed in another podcast, and they asked me completely different. This one is called Talk Design. So it was more leaning into the work that I do for architecture and film. So it's a completely different thing. Mm-hmm. But they asked me the question, how you end up in the industry. Why was your inspiration? And in fact, I said that when I was about 8 or 9, I was already interested in the industry. I saw a music video that literally blew my mind, and I said I wanted to go and do this. So the reason why I'm an educator, one of the main reasons that I was an educator, is because I basically, one of the things that really interests me is I in that time I didn't have the opportunity to get that knowledge. I mean, in that age, I was, I'm unable to get that knowledge in film. So the fact that I'm as an educator and I've been working with children and adults is to me is such a moving experience that you can share that to them. Yeah. And create future generations, especially for children. For adults, it's like they enjoy my not getting new knowledge or new set of skills thanks to what I do.
What would you think, or what would you say is like one of the most important things for people to learn first when it comes to storytelling in this way?
First, the story matters is very, very important. And I think it's because in so many ways, I try to reference people that if you don't have a foundation to create something, you can experiment, you can improvise. However, you don't know the results or the outcome of the product that you're creating. I mean, it's a little bit more abstract, but when you're creating something that you have a foundation, at least you have an idea or a layout, is really important. And the reason why I'm saying this, especially with children, it happens a lot when I'm working with children. They will come to you with a piece of paper, and my one of my things that is very passionate is when you have a classroom with children and they walk into the classroom and they know, this is Mr. Gus, who's going to be the teacher for film, and they get so fascinated about the technology. The first thing I notice is like, where's the shy kid? And the shy kid is usually the first one who come up with a piece of paper and give it to me. It's like, hi, Mr. Gus, I have this idea. What do you think? And they're like, this is wonderful. Let's do this movie. So, because they have a sense of, since they're like, they're restrained to share something, they put it on paper, and they have a good sense of a structure, of sense of emotions, different passages. However, when you receive those pieces of paper, the structure is very vague. So sometimes they'll come to you and said, so this is the story of this family. Okay. And then what happened with the family? Their family get lost. And then what happened? And then everything is, and then. So it's like, we need those transitions. We don't have transitions here. So we need something that takes you to the other scene or takes you to the other place. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Just because I'm curious, what sort of software are you an Adobe guy? Are you a Final Cut guy? Are you a Avid guy? Like, what's your stack?
I used to be an Avid guy. I used to be a Final Cut guy, but now I'm an Adobe guy.
You're an Adobe guy.
I think this is the package that I can use, and I feel very comfortable. And to be completely transparent, I've been trying to get into the DaVinci Resolve. But my head is like, I can't. I still try and I see courses. I can't.
Yeah, what I know about DaVinci is the color grading is amazing, but the workflow is just, it's like a foreign language to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's go back in time, Gus, and when you were, I don't know, what happened along the way when you were little, maybe, I don't know, 9 or 10, 8 or 9, I don't know. What was the pivotal moment that made you decide you had to do this with your life?
Well, there was a couple. So first pivotal moment, I was a very different kid. I used to watch a lot of documentaries and different kind of programming, not the usually, I want to watch cartoons or something like that.
You're watching documentaries.
Yeah. So I watched documentaries, but the thing that blows my mind was Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer music video.
Wasn't that cool?
Yes. So I saw it And that's when I made the decision. It's like stop motion, storytelling, music, all these different things. So that's what really changed my life when I saw it and I said, I wanted to do this. I wanted to find ways to create. Then I started experimenting a lot. I still have photos that I took when I was 13. So I say packages, say envelopes with my photos from when I was 13 years old. So which is amazing just to see those photos and figure out, oh, wow, I created this when I was 13. So I have a film camera. So I was experimenting a lot. I still have photos from that time. So that was another pivotal moment when you're creating images and you you had to wait. You had to wait for the results, which it clicks very well right now. My son is 8. And he's in second grade, and we've been using film cameras. So he asked me all these questions about, where are we going to see this? Well, in a couple of days, we only have 24 photos, 36 photos, that kind of thing. But he's fascinated about it, and I am enjoying that I'm reliving part of that experience. Then I start playing a lot with VCRs and, all these machines, and I start connecting two machines and trying to, start editing here and there. And I did a lot of experiments. I got in trouble with my dad several times because, sometimes, the deck will broke down and I opened it and said, okay, let's see what's going on. It's like, no, you don't know how to fix it. It's like, well, let me look at it.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was very rebellious when it comes to, technology and trying to figure out things. I was, very curious.
No kidding. Oh, that's really cool. What was your first big break? And how did you get it?
How did I get it? So there was a company in Venezuela where I'm originally from Caracas, Venezuela. And there was a company that is still alive in Venezuela. It's called Bolivar Films. Bolivar is the leader who liberated South America. So Bolivar Films is a company that when basically they were, producing films and all this stuff. In the time that I started, which I think was 18 or 19 years old, they still doing newsreels, which is wild when you hear they're still producing newsreels. So I started working on newsreels. I was assistant editor for a lady who, it will smoke like maybe 20 pack of cigarettes a day or something like that.
Oh my God.
And I was working in a flatbed, like literally cutting film with my own hands. And it was something that I was today having breakfast with somebody who, is very big. He's like the president of the Paramount Theater here in Austin, trying to, build connections here and there. And I was talking about that I still have memories of the smell, the chemicals of the film, or how many times I cut my hands grabbing the film when I was editing. And I said, those memories are still, imprinted in me. And I wish that people can live that experience because, now everything is, technology, computers, everything's digital. So you don't have that, tactile experience. So I started working there. I was assistant editor. Then they promoted me as a editor, and I worked there for maybe like 2-3 years. And I started getting curious about editing tape to tape because someone next to me that was using tape to tape.
Yeah.
So I saw what they're doing, and I said, okay, this is the next step. That's what I need to do next.
Interesting. The theme that I'm picking up from you is curiosity, which I just love. It is such a fascinating thing to meet people who just follow the curiosity because you just want to know how things work or why things are the way that they are. That's really cool. What's your favorite project? If you could pick it's kind of like picking your favorite kid, I realize, but
my goodness, that's a really tough question. I can mention several, but I don't have just one. However, I will say that when I was in film school, I did a short film. This one is still, that was, I had to say that it was pretty special and it was a big break to me. So and also gave me so many, it was not only the accolades, but also what it transcends as this project to allow me to move to the States. Mm-hmm. So I did a short film. It was a science fiction film. And it was, the premise was, imagine it. We are in an atomic war, and basically a nuclear bomb is thrown over Caracas, so they destroy the entire city. And then there's only two survivals, which are two men. So basically, you're already given a very sad ending because, I mean, you can't preserve society at all because they're like two males. So it was impossible to preserve that. So it was more like the story, and it was so funny because the movie was done in 1994 or something like that. And that short film, and I call it Pie, like Darren Aronofsky Pie.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I call it Pie. And then I had to kind of like put in parentheses something else so people don't get confused with Darren Aronofsky film. Oh my God. So yeah, the short film, it was a science fiction. It was, done in a high 8 videotape kind of thing, video type of production. And I mean, it went really well. I won an award in Italy. It was also I went to a film festival in Vancouver, and I won an award in Vancouver. In Cuba, they won an award, and then it was presented in Korea, in a festival in Korea, and they sent me a thank you trophy or something like that. And it was like a wooden mask, a Korean wooden mask, which I think it was beautiful. God. So thanks to that film and all the accolades, I was able to request what we call the artist visa to move to the US, which is called the O1, outstanding. That's what it called. So, So thanks to those awards, I was able to submit it with all these different things. And my lawyer was able to prove, okay, this guy's a filmmaker and he won several awards, so he can just participate in this program. So yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. I love success stories built on just doing stuff. Outstanding.
Thank you.
Let's say you're walking down the street in Austin, because you're, as you say, you're a walker. You like walking, you like seeing stuff. I want you to paint me a picture of the perfect day that Gus goes for a walk. We're going to call the short film Gus Goes for a Walk. Okay. And I'd just like to sort of understand the flavor of where you're walking. And then I'd like you to tell us, what is the one thing that you wish the world knew while you're out on the walk?
About me or about the world?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
You decide.
Oh my goodness. You're really good with questions. You're excellent questions. So it will be more like a mild temperature day. I mean, I like when we're in like in the 60s or maybe, 70s. I think that will be a perfect day to me. Sunny with some scatter clouds here and there. I love the sense of the nature, because I think this city have a lot of nature, so I enjoy that, and I enjoy the sounds of birds, especially woodpeckers and all the different kind of birds. Yeah. You hear cars passing by because they're rushing to get to the school, because like literally I live like really near to a school, so you see those parents rushing to get there. And I will wave at people because people here are very welcoming, and several people who are walking their dogs or something like that. And as I go, I will start navigating to different streets, which I recognize, and you still see people here and there who others don't even say hello to you and just pass by. But I enjoy the fact that sometimes you will get like random messages from friends who live overseas. This is kind of like my time to unwind and kind of connect with friends. Venezuelans are a diaspora at this point. We're not in a diaspora, so all your friends live overseas. They don't live like in Venezuela. So my best friend lives in Toronto. My other best friend lives in Nantes, outside Paris. My other friend lives in Arizona, and my other friend lives in Mexico City. Wow. So sometimes we share messages. It's like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? And then, they reply to you. And they also describe how they're doing. Especially, I have one of my best friends from film school who is in Mexico City. They always said that. He always like, oh, you hear the subway right now? Or you hear like, oh, you know what? My family is doing great and all that stuff. So I enjoy that when you're walking around the neighborhood, you also are able to connect with your friends due to technology. So that's another thing that I pretty enjoy from process of walking. And then I will just, put a podcast or maybe listen to a song that I feel that is in tune with what I'm doing right now in that moment when I'm walking. And then as I approach to home, I will be thinking, okay, so it's time to start a project.
Nice. So you're, I guess another thing that I'm picking up here is that, and I know you're listening to stuff, but unplugging from other things is an important part of the process.
Yes, I think it's important. Is I feel that when you are an artist, but you are in a level of commitment for a business or an organization, you need to take care of your mental health. I do my best and take care of my mental health. When I started my business, it was a very daunting first months trying to figure out so many things that you need to do. I mean, I'm a creator, and when I was as a freelance, I mean, you need to take care of all these different complex tasks that you need to do as a company owner.
Yeah.
But now that you're a company owner, you need to think about networking, go to the events, billing, chasing a client who's ghosting you and not paying you for 2 months, or other things that could happen, So there's like a lot of, moving parts. So yes, I try to, unplug myself. There's some days that I wanted to listen to a podcast. There's some days that I just wanted to listen to some music, or I wanted to listen to an audiobook, or just simply walk and listen to the sounds of nature or the city around.
Yeah, this is going to be like a super random question. Maybe it won't be. You'll connect the dots pretty quick. Did you ever see El Mariachi?
Yeah.
And are you familiar with Robert Rodriguez's like how that all came to be?
Yes.
Was that at all pivotal in your approach to this art form, or did it inform any aspect of it?
I think it's due to curiosity. I think it's due to resilience. I mean, a very resilient person, and I've been in, all these really strange circumstances that forced me to adapt. My wife always said that I'm whining when I have to adapt, but I still do. I still have to adapt, and I mean, it's not like I'm not going to do it. So it's like, oh, why I have to do this, and then I have to, and I do it anyway. Yeah. So yes, it was pivotal. There's so many things that happened in my career, in my life, that have been pivotal. The time that I moved to the States, the time that I left Venezuela, the time that I had to move from to New York to Austin, or even the way that the way that I had to switch jobs in New York, because I mean, there was all these pivotal times, and that's why I think it's resilience, because most of the time when I have, especially those moments in time, let's say like the recession or COVID, I mean, those times I had to learn to adapt, and I thrive thanks to those to the acceptance of the challenges.
That's awesome. Speaking, I don't know if this is a challenge or not, but talk to me about your Lego glasses.
Well, this one's.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
and are you going to wear them while you talk about them, or no?
I mean, if you want me, I can wear those. I mean, I can switch glasses. I'm not shy of changing glasses right now, so I will do it for you.
They're pretty cool.
I will do it for you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for that request. So I was in a birthday party, and they gave us these glasses. And they gave one to my child, and I think it's interesting because in that time he was not interested in Lego at all. Yeah. Now he's obsessed. Oh. So it's like it took a couple of years for him to get it. But I thought these glasses were magical. I thought there was kind of like a superpower.
Totally.
And in fact, I did a photo shoot recently with a great Mexican photographer here in Austin, which is like, she is amazing how to do photos. And they said, please bring props. And one of the things that I brought was the glasses. And I said, I need to use those. I mean, they're very important. They're part of my personality.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I had to wear them. And I think, like I said, it makes me feel different. But I mean, I think just the fact that you're wearing glasses is people see you differently. And in fact, my students, when I was working in the classroom with them and they see like me cleaning my face and taking my glasses. Like, oh, Mr. Gus, I never seen you without glasses.
Right.
It's like, well, yeah, this is me. It's the same person with glasses or without it. Yeah. So, I think I like the colors. I like the fact that it kind of changed your way of seeing things.
Literally.
Yeah. Literally. I mean, there's no glasses in it. So
I kind of, I'm looking at the little Lego pieces. I'm like, you could build off of those. You could create some crazy glasses.
Yeah, I think this piece can come off. Yes.
What? These are magical. Okay, I need to go find a pair.
Yeah, so I can probably in Amazon. They have everything.
That's true. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well then, what is your favorite movie?
Can I switch glasses to look more to look more smart?
Oh, I don't know. I think that you look just as smart with your Lego glasses.
Thank you. This is another tough question. I always search on. I'm part of that Letterboxd, so social media kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But I take it differently in a different way because I know that I see like youngsters who log 1,000 movies in a year and said, I can't even see 200 in a year. And I mean, this year probably is the year that I've been more behind than every year ever because it's a lot going on. Yeah. And I can tell you the 4 that I have on my favorite because it's really hard to say just one. In fact,
totally fair.
My list is just 30 favorite movies. So every year grows because you see something that really blows your mind. Mm-hmm. So it's really difficult. So I will say I'm fascinated with Stanley Kubrick is one of my favorite filmmakers. 2001, I've seen it like so many different times in so many different ways. Projected in a movie theater with an orchestra playing and a choir singing the whole thing, or I've seen it like so many times. So 2001 is very special to me. And my dad showed it to me when I think it was 7 and I didn't understand anything about it. He brought the videotape and he said, okay, let's watch this. And I said, Dad, I don't get it. Yeah. And then finally, I think when I was 12, I saw it again and I said, okay, now I get it. So 2001, Space Odyssey is one. I'm very fascinated with the film La Haine by Matthew Kasovitz, Hate. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
Is you will see the French actor Vince Cassel. He looks so young, so skinny. The film won Cannes in 1995. Okay. La Haine. They call it the Hate in the U.S. Yeah. Black and white is the plot is about riots that emerge in Paris because a person got killed. I think a minority person got killed. Oh, okay. And there was like the riots had started and the film takes place in 24 hours. And that movie, wow, I thought it was amazing and blew my mind when I saw it. Leon the Professional. I love that movie.
Oh, I know that movie.
I love that film. And I have a lot of connections with it. When I went to New York and I was working in a production company, I have a friend who owns that company. And he was editing a demo reel for one of the actors who was in there.
No way.
And then he knows that I love the movie. So he said, hey, come over here. And then he said, can you quote me that scene without and I started quoting the scene. And there was this guy, his name is Peter Applet. And he is the cop who's Gary Oldman's sidekick all the time. Oh so he was there. So and then he was so beautiful because he was doing the reel and then he said, okay, this is for you. So he gave me the DVD sign dedicated to me. So I said, okay, this is so special.
Wow.
So I love the movie a lot. And another movie that I feel a strong connection, especially with the character, and I feel connected to that character, is The Great Beauty, La Grande Bellezza by Paul Sorrentino. Sorrentino, yes. It won the Oscar in 2012, I believe. Yes.
Wow. I don't think I've seen it.
Yes, an Italian film. Beautiful film, and is so transformative for this character because he's a writer. He wrote one book who have a big break, and then after that, he's just enjoying the life of the time of his life in Rome.
Oh.
And the film have one of the wildest parties I ever seen in an opening scene.
Really?
Yeah, they have everything in that party, so it's wild. So I enjoyed that movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. So those are my 4 favorite movies.
Amazing. I'll put links down in the show notes.
Sure.
There. That's really cool. What's a guilty pleasure for Gustavo? Like, what do you do just for yourself?
Well, I mean, there was a time that my guilty pleasure was One Hit Wonders, and I still enjoy One Hit Wonders. I love to listen to One Hit Wonders and also talk about the story of One Hit Wonders.
Oh, love it.
So I'm reliving that right now since last year I decided to go back and start buying audio cassettes again. So I went back to audio cassettes, and the only things that I wanted to buy are cassettes from the 80s or the 90s that represents that time of One Hit Wonders. So it's like, Find Young Cannibals or, D-Light, or all these artists who just simply make it just one song and that's it.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
That's, I love that. Did not expect that answer. I appreciate that. That's so good.
The One Hit Wonders?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so cool. What's do you cook or do you yeah? I figured you might.
I enjoy a lot cooking.
Yeah. What's your go-to? What's your power dinner move?
Well, I'm experimenting a lot. I think and there was in the classroom, I always try to tell my students that when like making a film is like cooking, because you have so many elements and you have to put it together in order to have the meal. Mm-hmm. And it also is a matter of time, and also it's a matter of the ingredients, the portions. Yeah. So it's just in the same way as an editor. I just selected the best parts. So I mean, you can't just simply overpower a BLT or overpower a burger. So you have to make sure that you have the right things here and there. So I'm good with soups. I do a lot of soups, and my wife enjoy soups. My son is start getting it. Kids don't enjoy soups a lot. And you have to force them to have to eat the soups.
I've never, sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because I've never met anybody who made soups before. And it dawned on me as you're talking, I'm just like, that is such a cool thing to like get good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like boiling the, doing the stock and the reduction.
Yeah. My obsession is making French onion soup from scratch.
Really?
Yes.
How scratch are we talking? Are you making the matzah from scratch?
Everything from scratch. I mean, I'm spending time shaving and cutting perfectly all those 6 to 10 onions, then making sure that they're caramelized properly. Oh my God. So all those things are happening in the process. I mean, that's the only soup that my son enjoys, because I do mushroom cream. I do tomato soup. I do a version of the tomato soup with carrots and also one with zucchini. Yeah. He hates those, but but I think it's the fact that you put cheese and bread. That's when when he's like, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah, you had me at cheese.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Are you a dessert guy? Are you sweet or savory?
Oh, sweet.
Sweet. All right.
Big time.
All right. What's your thing? What's the thing that you just can't get enough of?
Nutella, of course. Chocolate, Nutella, a lot. In fact, my request for my birthday is my wife is great baking. I don't bake at all. I don't do anything related to baking. I have sheer respect from that. And my wife makes a spongy Nutella cake just for me every time that my birthday is happening. Oh. So it's not just simply put Nutella on top of the spongy cake. It's like she mix the Nutella in the mix, and then she makes like a very brownish Nutella cake. Yeah. So it tastes like Nutella, but it's a spongy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like baking is science, whereas cooking is art.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Very cool. Man, so many. How many kids do you have? Just one, two?
Just one.
Just one. Mm-hmm. So what is the one thing that you want your son to know?
Just about me or the world?
Again, maybe about the world. Let's just say, what do you want him to know about the world?
I think this is this could be a contradiction, because sometimes you feel that when you are, you can't sugarcoat everything to people, especially someone who's growing, right?
Yeah.
And we live in, I think there's amazing things about the world, but there's really dark places about the world, and very, horrible things that are happening in the world where we having this conversation. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted him to know that sometimes the world is not as beautiful as we think. But I feel that it's contradictory, because, or you want to protect him from not knowing, or you just wanted to tell him, things could be difficult sometimes, and you had to find ways to, succeed anyway. And again, people had different paths, different journeys, or we can call it also in the storytelling part, like the journey of a hero, that
sure.
you have you still have to, you need challenges in order for you to succeed. You can't just simply have a successful life and then thinking, this is going to be perfect the entire time. Sometimes you will face moments where, you're going to be tested, and you need to be ready for it. You can't just simply, that's what I wanted him to know, that you need to be ready for difficult moments.
Love that. Oh, that's a huge gift.
Mm-hmm.
Nicely done. Yeah. There's these people in the world, I call them rebels in waiting. And these are the people who are about to do a thing. Maybe they're learning cinematography from you, or editing from you, but they're about to they've written their script. It doesn't matter what it happens to be, but they're about to go out on their own, embark on this adventure. What advice do you have to those rebels in waiting?
Well, first, the cliche one, never give up.
Well, they're cliche for a reason.
Yeah, I had to throw that out. Yeah. But I had to say that never stop believing in your abilities to create. I think is we are in a moment in time where a lot of things are kind of rehash or copy of things, and people feel, oh, you know what, you can create something new at this moment. It's like, well, yes. The question is it an influence or is a copy? That's the question. Yeah. And I think that goes to, there's this famous video on Vimeo called Everything is a Rehash, I think it's called, where basically showing that even if you go 100 years, everything is a reference to something. So it's impossible to say that something is completely original.
Right.
So I think it's important that you believe that you're creating something unique, and you need to believe on what you're creating, because, and you will have to face so many judgment about what you're doing, and people will say, oh, you know what, and I face it. My parents didn't believe in what I was doing. My mom took a couple of years to believe that this was really a career, or it will give me money, or it will provide to the family. So you had to believe it, and you had to be resilient, and you had to have patience and believe in the process, because sometimes things will come in a different direction, and you have to believe in those things. So you can't just simply feel that someone have the secret formula. Those guys on Instagram that said, I have the secret formula, and I'm gonna make you, you're gonna make 10K a month. With my formula.
Yeah. And when you get stuck on something, go for a walk.
Yes,
that's always a good way to go. Gustavo, this has been so freaking cool. I want to do this again at some point down the road. I want to do the extended cut of Life of Gus.
Wow, definitely, I would love to. It's this was very unexpected, very, very unexpected, and that's why I enjoy this conversation a lot.
Yeah, I do as well. Where can people find out more about you, social media wise or website wise?
So my website is www.gusbernal.com. That's my website, where they have all my work and everything.
Put the link down
and
there.
Yes. And Instagram, you can find me on Gus Bernal Film. It's right there, so you can just find me.
Yeah.
I don't have Twitter, but I at this point
we're good with that.
Yes, I have LinkedIn, which is also my name, Gus Bernal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not very active on Facebook, and I don't know who else is.
It's a mystery to me.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. This has been such a fun conversation, Gus. Thank you so much for taking time and sharing your story and inspiring all of us. I appreciate you.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. Hey, if you're an artist, scientist, entrepreneur, or business owner who wants a smooth and proven method to find, shape, and share your story with the world, head on over to brandjitsu.com and order a copy of my book, Brand Jitsu, Move Your Brand from Meh to Memorable. I've been your host, Michael Dargie, and this has been the Rebel Rebel Podcast. It's a podcast for creative rebels and entrepreneurs all over the world. And hey, if you're a rebel or you know a rebel, head on over to the RebelRebelPodcast.com and fill out the guest request form. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time.